We're leaving harbor.
I guess we're all stranded now.
Gears of War 3 was just a natural evolution. When we sat down and looked at Gears of War 1 and 2, I think that really the only conversation was, what aren't we satisfied with? Because there's 10,000 things that we are satisfied with. But when you look at a sequel, you're always saying, what are the things we did wrong? It doesn't really matter what you did right. You have to evolve, you have to push, you have to drive forward. We basically had the same team to make this game that we have in the past. But the scope is far larger. And so what that comes back to is efficiency. It comes back to tools. Here at Epic, our art pipeline is pretty straightforward. Generally, we start with a very complex, high polygon model out of 3ds Max.
3ds Max has always been the hub for modeling. Obviously, you can handle the rigging in it, you can handle the animation, you can handle the rendering in it. And you're not just restricted to what comes in the package. You can include plugins, which are great, different rendering packages, which help out as well. The render-to-texture feature is really invaluable for what we do. You can essentially access all the filters that you normally see in the renderer for 3ds Max, as well as a super sampler, which makes a really nice smooth effect for normal maps.
And then we will bring those models into Maya to do our animation.
For me, Maya has just the customization of it, like the ability to basically do anything that Maya can do through code. Having full access to its API, having full access to all the Python modules with the Maya Mel and the commands module, and basically being able to, especially now with the Qt implementation, to basically rewrite the entire UI to be exactly what we need, I think is its real draw.
We have a fantastic suite of automation tools that are really coming from the scripting capabilities that we have and we found inside of Maya. And so we've written a whole series of user interfaces that we can bring content in, do fast rigging, fast facial weight transfers, and bring lots of content in quickly, and then do our animation inside of Maya. I think when you look at the Unreal Engine, we have universality in the usage of our tool, and that's true of Autodesk products as well. And so marrying those two is, honestly, it's a no-brainer.
Before we were using a proprietary format for getting our content into the engine, and from the engine team here, they decided, well, you know, keeping up with all these programs that come out every year, and there's so many of them now, and making sure that our plugin works with all of them is becoming a big headache. And so FBX was just really the only clear option. But now with FBX, we're able to have a standardized format to get all of our static meshes, skeletal meshes, animations, morph targets, the whole works easily into the editor. And now that frees up our resources here for the engine team to focus on, you know, making the Unreal Engine better, which has been huge.
When you look at game development, user interface design is something that's universal. It's a common problem amongst every game that's ever been made or will be made. Marrying the Unreal Engine and Scaleform, I think, really was a no-brainer for Epic. And the reason for that is that Flash is an absolutely universal language for visual design. And everybody in the industry knows it. Everybody knows how to use those tools and how to create something that's striking and functional and usable. And so content created in Flash comes through Scaleform directly into Unreal Engine 3 with no problems.
On Gears of War 3, we really wanted to have the best, because we're the best UI that we've ever made. We focused a lot more on, I guess, the user feedback of creating animations for when things happen that we never were able to do before. All that was possible and because of Scaleform and Flash, because we were never able to animate stuff as freely and liberally before.
If you license Unreal Engine 3, Scaleform comes right along with it. It's completely integrated. And the reason for that is because we can trust that Flash and Scaleform and that integration is going to get something in on the first try, and we don't have to worry about the technology.
It was amazing that we could just very simply put all the textures in, push an import button, check a box, and it was all done.
There's no reason for us to reinvent the wheel. Autodesk has created a massively powerful suite of tools, and all we need to do is make it shine in games like Gears of War 3.
With Gears of War 3, I think it's the most polished product we've ever created.
The multiplayer is robust to a degree that players have never seen. We have a new beast mode where you get to play as the Locust, higher quality cinematics, higher quality graphical fidelity. At every turn, this is a bigger and better and more striking game than we've made.